Meme coin tier list. I love these kind of videos because meme coins change so much. Community coins change so much. What was hot last cycle might not be hot this cycle, and what was hot last month might not be hot this month. So in this video, we're going to go over a lot of my favorite coins, and I'm going to tell you how I personally rank them. We're going to cover all different chains: Solana, Ethereum, SUI, Base. We're going to hit everything and why, guys. It's going to be a great video. We're going to get to everything. Meme coin tier list. I love you all. This is never financial advice. Coming over here, you can see all the OGs: Doge, Shib, Pepe, which really started off this cycle, but then you have some new faces. You have Pudgy Penguins with Pingu that's just coming out, but you have some that have been around a very long time. And what I think is the coins that were big earlier this cycle or even last cycle won't be the ones this cycle. So I'm looking for the gems, the overlooked plays that I believe have the potential for an amazing market cap, guys. So I start looking through the data and I want to see what chains are very healthy, and I want to look at total value locked, and I want to look at stable coins. And you can see Ethereum extremely strong, even though just a year ago, 6 months ago, you could have argued that it was very weak. But when you look over here at Solana, you can see Solana is extremely strong, surpassing the data that it did last cycle with total value locked. But a couple of them catch my eye. That is growing at an abnormal pace, or that is growing, taking market share away from the larger ones. And one of those is Base Chain right here. And then another one is an emerging layer 1 SUI. You can see that this is growing up extremely quick, over a 2 bill total value locked, with half of that in stable coins. Whereas you're looking over here on Base Chain, it's at a 5B total value locked. So 2 billion, 5 billion, compared to when you look over at Solana at 12, and when you look over at mainnet ETH at 150. So the first example that I want to go through when going through all these coins is one of them that was the first meme coin I ever really did really well on, right? One that I really love, Turbo. Turbo has everything you could want for a meme coin, right? But this is where that question comes. Is what was hot earlier this cycle or last cycle, what is going to be hot this time around? And that's what I want to look at, because it's very hard. Turbo has everything going for it. Every exchange listing you could ever imagine, except for Robinhood. So there's not a lot of new catalysts coming up for Turbo, other than it's the first AI generated meme coin. And so even though I do love Turbo, I would put this as around a B ranking on an overall tier list right now when it comes to risk reward. Is it going to get that big explosive run that I once thought it could have had? I once thought this could have potentially passed up, SHIB, but I just don't think that's where the market prices it right now, and that's not a bad thing at all. So Turbo community, don't come at me crazy. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just that with a lot of different meme coins, we have new ones launching every day. A lot of them that are launching monthly that get up to 100 in market cap or even more, all taking mind share away from some of the OGs. And people always want what is new. And one of the most bullish communities I can think of right now is sitting on SUI at just a 20 M market cap for the #1 coin on that chain. That is Lofi the Yeti, guys. I have a dedicated video about this. I was dollar cost averaging in the Discord at 13 mil for this, guys. And if anybody wants to, code FAM 50% off forever. Less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, guys. Come on, join, link down below. But you can see this has done some amazing numbers. You could see it ended up hitting over a 200 M market cap, and the Cetus hack happened, which was something with the liquidity provider for SUI. And that is the only reason, in my opinion, that we ever reached the levels that we're currently at now. But I have a video showing that what this would be with the fair market value is about 2% the overall market cap of SUI. Because when we look at another coin that I really like, which is Pudgy Penguins, which these are both S tier in my opinion, when you take a look at this, this is about 2% of the overall market cap of Solana. This is about 2 bill. Solana is about 100 bill. So whenever I take a look at Lofi, I'm thinking this is easily to be 2% would be a 240 M market cap. So this is just crazy undervalued, and why this is the meme coin that I put the most of my own cash into versus buying something low, seeing it grow. You know, I did not get in at, 200K on Lofi, right? This is something that I bought in at these prices anywhere between 13 and around 20. So this is one that I am extremely, extremely bullish on. But the top of the list is where I would put Lofi with risk reward, because I believe it is very, very promising. And I would put Pudgy Penguins up in there as a S tier, just because this is a top coin. This is the 53rd ranked coin, right? It's one of the top meme coins in the world, but they are building a brand with this, with Pudgy Penguin sitting there at a floor price of like 50 or 60K. They have little Pudgies that are still like 5K that you could see right here. They're doing partnerships, merch. This is going to be a global brand. People won't even know that the Pingu token exists, but they're going to know that Pudgy Penguins exist. There was just a new game that came out that is extremely cool. So I'm extremely, extremely bullish on those. But there's another one that I've been watching over on Base Chain. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Coinbase's layer 2 built on Ethereum base. And what Coinbase is about to do is about to integrate every base decentralized exchange token onto main Coinbase exchange website. So that is extremely, extremely bullish. And one of the top ones is Toshi. Already has the big Coinbase listing, Binance US, Bybit, Revolt, Kraken, absolutely everywhere, sitting at a very, very strong market cap of around 250 M. If we take a look at this all time, it ran up crazy, up to 600, and you can see right here it's kind of just following this trend line right here. I kind of just like to zoom out on here, find the low point, and see if it's trending. So you can see we got a good line right there to watch. It hasn't broke that, it's obeying by that. We also come over here, you can see we got that. So things are looking bullish for crypto to continue to jump up, but I would put Toshi right there in the B tier list, right there with Turbo. But I want to go through and look at some more coins that people have been commenting lately. Taking a look at Brett. Brett is not one of my favorite plays, guys. I do believe it's a good coin. I do believe it is very good for Base Chain. It was the first Matt Fury play that ever did very good on base, and that's why it's the #1 meme coin currently. But it's just not for me. I would rank this somewhere in the C territory, something like SPX 6900. I would definitely put an S tier in terms of community. Now, I do not believe it's going to flip the stock market. Okay, guys, SPX 6900. I don't think you're going to flip the stock market, but I do really, really like your project. So, guys, shout out SPX 6900 community. Dog Ordinals, I really, really like this, okay? It has the lore of being Bitcoin, right? Dog go to the moon. It was like a fair launch. I'm not sure on all the details, but I am very, very bullish on Dog. I think that people will realize that community is a utility, and that is where I believe people are going to turn to meme coins, is once we see as a macro that utility is in the community, then you're going to see a lot of Bitcoin OGs, in my personal opinion, never financial advice, coming over to something like Dog. And we obviously have all the virtuals plays, all the artificial intelligent meme coins that were all built up. And I really think, not to go off topic, guys, but looking at things like GOAT, looking at all these AI agents, I think that is honestly what did stunt the growth in Turbo, because it had a lot of lore, being the first AI generated meme coin of all time. But now you've got AI coins that can talk, can generate images, can do a plethora of actual utility utility on chain. And so AI agents are taking that place from Turbo, I believe, as an AI meme coin. But I'm trying to keep it simple with my list. I have my portfolio that I keep and I trade with constantly. And then I have my long-term plays. And when I look at these plays, including Lofi on SUI, these are some of the long-term conviction plays that I have. But did I miss one? And if I did, let me know what that is down in the comments below. Watch this video up above. And if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.